Meanwhile, we get back to the office and this email has come through. And we're like, hello, what's this? Brugger and Tomet from Switzerland. And they say, hello. They haven't quoted for the guns. They said, why don't you get in touch with our agent in Finland, Mr. Olli Salo. We think he'll be able to help you in this matter. Phone up Olli Salo in Finland. Hello. I said, listen, I'm phoning up because I got a little fax, a little email from Brugger and Tomet about supplying some Heckler & Koch MP5 submachine guns to Algeria, and they said you might be able to help us. Yes, not a problem. Really? Now, to sell weapons, you need two things. You need an export licence and you need an import licence. It needs to get an export licence to leave the country, and it needs an import licence to get in, right? That's how you're supposed to control the flow of arms. So I said, right, you can get the guns to Algeria. Not a problem, that's fine. I said, well, you know, where do you want them moved through? I said, well, could you move them into Spain? He goes, no, it'd be much better if we flew them direct to Algeria. Would it? Yes, because then you only need an import permit. That means the Algerians have just got to request the guns. Yes. Now, Algeria probably will get the import permit if the Algerian government ask themselves. Can we have an import? No! Are you sure? OK. I'm just fucking with you. So we're going, well, we've just got an offer to buy guns from Finland into Algeria. He said, all the paperwork we need is an import permit from the country of destinations. That's the only paper we want. Finrappel oi. I've phoned them back just to check. They said, we don't need export, do we? That's me. No. And that's because it's transshipment. Yeah, that's the reason. They are saying that they're not exporting, they're just shipping on. So we're like, So as I put the phone down, phoned up Brugger and Tomet. I said, look, I'm very impressed with your agent out in Finland. And they say, oh, he's our agent. Well, he said, and this is what they say. They said, he's our agent for many parts of the world with stuff like this. And the fact that the regulations we have there is very liberal and it's working very smooth. So we phone up Ollie. I said, look, the client needs to ask a couple of questions, but he also wants to buy some sniper's rifles made in Britain. They're not made anywhere else. Can we get those into Switzerland, out from Switzerland, into Finland, Algeria? Not a problem. So we've now got licensed production stuff coming out of Germany, into Switzerland, Finland, going out to Algeria, and we've got stuff from Britain coming through. So I said, OK, now, I need to know, Ollie, can you just sort of talk me through some of the stuff here? I'm not sure about the status of how it works. And can you put up Ollie's stuff? He says, it has to come from outside the European Union. If it comes from Germany, we need an export licence, but when it comes from outside, it doesn't. That's the trick. Switzerland, obviously, isn't in the European Union. The parts leave Germany under export licence, where it's assembled in Switzerland, and then they export it to Finland. We said, do we deal with Brugger and Tomet? They said, no. Officially, we are the only ones dealing with you because, obviously, it can't be sold if Switzerland is involved in any way regarding you. He says, the Swiss end doesn't know anything about this deal because they require export licences from the Swiss to Finland. And then it's up to us what we do with the shipment. OK. So, put the phone down, think, this is getting... Let's try it. Let's give him another call. Said, Ollie, look, the client is quite nosy. Yes, he is, but, you know, I think we're going to get the deal. Oh, good. So, he wants to know, can you do the deal to Zimbabwe? Can you get the guns? Can we also order up the MP5s to go into Zimbabwe and these sniper rifles? No problem. OK, so we're now going to get guns from Britain and Germany, made under licence, made in Britain, out into Zimbabwe, EU sanction. He said, it's not a problem, we can do it all legally, no problem. As long as there's no UN embargo on the country, we can get it out there. Not a problem. The Swiss saying, under current law, we're not allowed to export any arms to Zimbabwe. So obviously, if Brugger and Tomet are sending from Switzerland to Finland, which are then going to go to Zimbabwe, that could be a question mark. The Finnish say they abide by any EU sanctions which are legally binding. So I'm not sure exactly how they're doing it. I just had to sort out a couple of quick questions before I email over all the details for the transfers and of letters of credits and money. The client is absolutely insistent that they know step by step what's happening with the package, with the guns on each stage of the journey. And they're saying what happens to the guns once they're in Finland. Yes, but does the because the export licence is for Finland, they're saying that's your problem. So basically, well, they're just asking about. Okay, I don't need to know. So if it's being exported into Finland, are you sort of saying, okay, once it's in Finland, we're going to change the label and basically say it's for... Okay. Okay, so you're changing it from imports to transshipment. Now, follow this carefully because it's for your own safety. Rifles go from here, in Switzerland into Finland. Finland, go there and there. Or they come out of Germany, go there, go there, go there. Or we could go from here to there, 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 there. What it basically means is the bad men look like they're getting the guns again. In a way, it doesn't kind of matter how they're doing it. The point is, if you had end-use monitoring and if you had licence controls, this wouldn't be happening. This would not be happening. What you've got, though, you've got Patricia Hewitt, the person who's supposed to take control. It's not as if she doesn't know about it. Well, maybe she doesn't know about it. Maybe she doesn't know this kind of thing. Maybe she just sits there in the DTO office going, can't hear you, can't. Ollie, it's Mark.
Yes. Right.
Ollie, I just have to tell you, my name is Mark Thomas. I'm a reporter. I'm recording the telephone call for broadcast on a truck outside the Department of Trade and Industry. I'd like to ask you were explaining how you were going to get guns to Zimbabwe. How are you going to do that without breaking the law, Ollie?
I knew you were to call.
No, but you've said to me that you would get the guns from Finland.
It was a lie.
But you were explaining how you're going to get Heckler & Koch MP5 submachine guns.
We can't.
You've explained to me on numerous occasions that you can, and that you've given me paperwork providing...
don't believe anything you hear.
You're retracting everything, is that correct?
No.
So you're standing by everything?
No. It's a joke.
OK, Ollie, so you're saying it's a joke, yet you're explaining to me how...
It's because we can't do that.
You're now saying you can't do it, now revealed that other journalists are saying you can't do it.
Sorry, we can't do that. It's an embargoed country.
But you've told me on numerous occasions you can get guns from Finland into Zimbabwe. Now, this will break the EU... This will break the EU sanctions, wouldn't it?
Sorry, there's a lot of noise behind you.
That's because I'm outside the Department of Trade and Industry, as I explained, with a loudspeaker system broadcasting the conversations to them. Now, I've explained that to you, Ollie. When I phoned you last week and said, could you help me get MP5 machine guns out to Algeria, and you said, we can do it directly, and it won't be a problem, and all you'll need is an import permit. Do you remember saying that?
No.
No, you don't remember saying that?
I could have said, but in reality it's not a joke. We can't do that.
So why did you say to me that you could?
For money, I'll say anything you want to hear.
Ollie, you were prepared to break the law, weren't you?
No.
You've just described to me 10 minutes ago how you left the guns in the packages and you were going to change the labels. That is breaking the law, isn't it?
It isn't if we have an export license, but we have to apply it first.
This is the first time you've ever mentioned it, isn't it, Ollie? What it basically means is Britain makes the money through other people's misery, selling this stuff all across the world. They can go anywhere they like with it, essentially, apart from, obviously, the axis of evil, where they're licensed themselves. We found this out in 8 days. 8 days. It's not rocket science. You just have to speak the vaguely right language, and even then, they don't fucking care. Yeah, I was making mistakes all over the place, and they don't hear it, because they hear money. It don't matter. People say, don't sit there and just stay in your armchair and do nothing about these things. You should get up and do something about it. No, don't. When it comes to the elections on May the 2nd, stay in your fucking armchair. Do not fucking bother with them. Thanks for coming along. Cheers. Night-night.